Cammie, you've been, wow, your family has been through a lot in the past couple years, huh?
Yes.
Now, at first you thought that Dylan had mono, is that right?
Yes.
And
he'd been exposed to mono. And
okay.
So I took him to the doctor thinking that he had mono, and they ran a CBC, and we found out that he had leukemia.
So quite a shock to think that he had something that was easily treatable, and then to be told your son has leukemia. What were you thinking?
Just shock. I just couldn't believe it. And then we came over here and started treating it. So
You're in Murrayville, right? So that's an hour away?
yes.
Okay. So this is one of those instances that we've talked about where if it weren't for St. John's Children's Hospital, you'd probably end up, and he's got a brother and sister,
Yes.
so you'd probably end up having to separate the family out and spend time in Chicago or St. Louis and come all the way back.
Correct.
So this was a lot easier for you.
Yes.
Were you confident right away that St. John's Children's Hospital had everything that you needed to take care of Dylan and his needs?
Yes. We got over here about 8 o'clock that night, and they started treating him right away.
With chemotherapy?
No. His white count was so high, they had to get it down so to avoid a stroke because it was just unbelievably high. So, but they took care of that night, and then we started chemo the next day. So.
And how is he doing right now? I would ask Dylan, but I don't think he'd answer.
He looks like he's doing great.
He's in remission.
Okay,
So
that's
he's
wonderful.
doing wonderful. We still have 3 years of treatment. So
At one point, he was in the ICU. How
Yes.
did that happen?
when we were first diagnosed, because
Okay.
of his counts being so bad,
How long was he in there?
a week.
Wow.
So.
Did you sit next to his bedside the whole time?
Yes.
Do you remember that, Dylan? Remember your mom being there 24 hours a day? And so then your mom was taking care of your other kids
Yes.
back in Murrayville, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So when Dylan has this treatment and when this is going on and you're with him, what do? You just sit there with him? Is he feeling a lot of pain? Is it painful? He
No.
says no. But it has to be probably painful for a mom to watch.
Oh yeah, especially when he doesn't like needles, so anytime they poke him, he throws a fit. So that's probably the hardest part. Is
Do they have you hold him down?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
jeez.
So.
He said no.
Well, help. Not hold you down. We know you're probably stronger, Dylan, but
If you want to say what you really want to say,
you've got your own mic right there if you feel like talking. No? So as a mom, seeing him in that kind of pain, and then on top of it, he has to be poked with needles, and, he's in even more pain, that had to be just heartbreaking, especially when you thought at the beginning this was all just mono. Like,
Yes.
kids just get sick sometimes, it's no big
Yes.
deal, and now you're dealing with cancer.
Yes.
and I would imagine too, part of the therapy, it does drain you. It makes you very weak. And you can tell he has some big personality.
Yes.
Kind of drains him away. How does it to see him like that, to make him so tired? Dylan.
It's heartbreaking, but we manage.
I should have the Kleenex over here for these moments. I don't know where it is right now.
And you
so
do
I'm
have
sorry
a
about that.
son and a daughter. What do they think about what's going on?
They miss us. They just want us to come home when we have to stay in the hospital, and they're pretty understanding now that Dylan's sick and we have to be over here, that we don't have a choice. So.
Do you all plan to be together for Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Yes.
That's great.
And I think the key that we're hearing from Cammie, she says, when we have to be in the hospital, they miss us. This is a mom and her son that are away from the rest of their family. And when kids come in here, it is a kid and a parent typically. So
Yes.
you're missing your other kids as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your experience at St. John's when you have to stay here and this becomes a home away from home for you and for Dylan? How do you feel about the pediatric floor and the kind of care that he's been receiving?
They are wonderful up there. They are so understanding.
Any favorite doctors or nurses?
Here's your chance. Who's your favorite nurse?
Do you have a favorite, Dylan? Is it a girl? What's her name?
Emily? Nurse Emily. Okay.
Yes. Is there anything in particular you want to say to Emily?
What about you, Cammie?
They are all just wonderful. You couldn't ask for better nurses up there.
Now, are they there for the moments that you feel like breaking down and you don't want to do that in front of Dylan? Are they there for you too? Who do you talk to when you're staying over?
Yes, I can talk to any of the nurses up there.
But that means a lot on the worst days that there's
Yes.
some shoulder that you can cry on if you need to. Oh, go ahead,
I was
Jessica.
going to ask, how do you pass the time then when you two are up there? What do you guys do together?
We play video games
You hang out in the teen lounge?
and board games.
We've seen the teen lounge.
Yes,
That's pretty
We hang out
nice.
in the teen lounge, or we bring the video game system from home and hook it up in his room, and we play with the nurses. Some of the nurses will come in and play with him too, and the child life specialist.
Why are you smirking, Dylan? Oh, okay. Oh, he was just watching himself on the video over there. Cammie, what are your hopes for Dylan's future?
That we get cured.
So he's in remission right now, but it's not technically.
Right,
How long does he need to be in remission?
5 years.
5 years?
Yes.
And how much time are you going on now?
We were diagnosed in March, of this year.
Okay.
So we have a long way to go.
So this has all been pretty recent, and I imagine it must be hard for you to talk about this soon after all this has happened. So we really appreciate you coming on and
thank
sharing
you.
your story with us. And thanks for being a part of the radiothon and letting people know again how somebody else's life has been touched by all of the things that Children's Miracle Network does for St. John's Children's Hospital.
And as you mentioned too, Dylan is a 12-year-old, so you're the big brother, right? So what do your brother and sister do when you're not there? Do you talk to them often? Yes. Because you kind of miss them.
Boy, there is no way we're getting him on the
No,
mic today.
I was-
Nope. Nope, not doing it.
Oh.
It's been great meeting you, Dylan. We hope you come back next year.